My mission for the day is to take this turd bucket and turn it into the Mona Lisa. Do y'all think I'm up for the challenge? It works. Got this to do 1,600 on the bench. We'll put this in a new case. And he told me, and I quote him, "I want the baddest A-pill." I said, okay. Let the creative juices flow. Ah. Reuse some of these. Like I won't reuse these caps. Probably reuse these 330s. I'm going to test each one of these 120s. I'll use these resistors and disc capacitors. I'll probably rewrap the combiners and the splitters. This trimmer I'll throw in the drawer. I might reuse that doorknob, but I doubt it. Definitely going to reuse each one of these little guys. Alright. I'm going to wash these puppies up. But as far as this and usable parts, done. Alright, on to the next step. Shoot a quick video about these. This is what this guy was using for pill screws in this previous build. This is not a good idea. To the builders that are coming up, this is a bad idea. The thread pitch of the screw has a tendency to gall the aluminum underneath the foot of the transistor. So it prevents the transistor from actually getting full contact with the board. 1. 2, it doesn't have very much thread depth, so it doesn't grab into the heatsink very well. So if you ever do pop a pill, you might get maybe 1, maybe 2 transistor changes, and this thing is going to be stripped out. And 2, it's not a very fine thread. So the amount of pressure that you're applying to the transistor isn't going to be very uniform. Just food for thought. So we're going to take all of these. We'll pitch them in the trash down here in a second. We're going to get on with putting this sucker together. The Super 8 pill. Got all the tabs on the 2879 straightened out. Got them all lubed up with thermal compound. Now, I can't stress this enough to new builders. You can't go and fill the pockets full of cream. You can't. Only polish the heat sinks too, so they got a really good, nice, perfectly mirror smooth mounting surface to go to. You can't just fill the pockets full of cream. It causes a thing called hydraulic cupping on the bottom side of the transistor, where just the ears will make contact with the heat sink. So it's much better to lube these up with your finger and just put a very thin coat of cream down. Very, very thin. Remember, it's just there to fill up the small gaps. It doesn't conduct very well as itself. Anyhow, we're going to put this in a 16 pill cabinet. That's what the bottom side of this puppy looks like. That should give this thing a butt ton of coolant. Got our capacitor bank already laid out. Got our bus bar laid down. Lay down the transistors, lay down the pill strips. Do positive distribution. Lay down the big positive transformers. We're going to put the BBI transformers in here for Tony, who's going to love those. But we're going to see if we can get her to make a little bit better badass box for you, bud. As my buddy Tech9 always says, all right, goodbye. Okay, bye. Almost done. And do that little elevated platform. I'm gonna make it offset just like this for the input. It'll be awfully sick. We'll have the coax come out and then pigtail over here. Output combiner relay. Yeah, it's gonna be neat. So the only thing we reused was the transistors, these resistors, and the input and output transformers, or the splitters and the combiner units. Everything else is brand new. Brand new transformer, brand new board, brand new everything. Okay, progress report done. Bye. Oh my God, what a day. You ever have one of them days where your phone just doesn't stop ringing? And everybody that calls you is like epically somebody that you just have to talk to? Man, what a day. Tony, bam, rags to riches. This thing has been nicknamed the rags to riches box. It's done. I got to put the key in circuit in it, and I got to wire up the fans, and I'm going to vinyl it. But since I'm doing a multi-part video, I thought I would just go ahead and take a minute and let the video roll on. You got to remember where we started from, guys, and I turned it into this. The next little portion of this video is going to be me testing it. Rags to riches. Tony, we're done, buddy. This has been a 6 or 7 part little mini series here that I just got done shooting. But Tony, amp number 1924, rags to riches. Let's not forget where we started. Now, Tony, like I told you on the phone, brother, the only parts I reused from that to this were the combiners, these little flyover resistors, and the transistors. Everything else on 1924 is new. 4 new little 120 millimeter blue fans. We put this up on a 16 pill board for you. So it's got like 5 times the amount of heatsink it should have. You wanted a super 8 pill? Brother, you got yourself a badass 8 pill. Today we're going to hit it with the Striker 955. The Connex 40, what version is this? The 44,000 or 4400. We're going to hit it with a bench 2 pill. We're going to operate on 14 volts. We're going to use our 1000 watt slug in a PEP position. 1000 watt slug in average. 5 watt slug in reverse. Coming back from the bird, 10,000 watt demi load. And a 5 watt slug in reverse between the Striker and the amplifier. Dude, this thing is rocking and rolling. I'm telling you, get yourself like a Connex or something that does about 100 watts, 120 watts, and that's all you really need for this bad boy. You were hitting this thing with a gray and you were barely able to get 1500 out of it. Well, brother, we're going to hit it with a whole lot less. You're not going to believe what we get out of it for watts. Let's go ahead and grab the microphone for the Striker 955. We're on a 1X setting. Hello, BBI. So we're going to swing about 80-90 watts into this puppy. That's us talking through the box. Now hold on. 5-watt slug and reverse between the striker and the 8-pill. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. This is about as low as you go. It's just talking through the box. It's 80 watts of drive. Hello in the corner. Now, we knew that was gonna happen because that's the way we roll at BBI. Just click that multiplier. The 1,000-watt slug now is reading as a 2,000-watt slug. Right there between the 40 and the 60 is our 1,000-watt mark. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. Seen about 13 and some change with 80 watts of drive. With 80 watts of drive. Look at the input tune circuit. Hello. Hello. Nada. That's what we're shooting for. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hook up the little bench 2-pill here. Need to get a hold of Mr. Black Productions. And last year we bought me a GoPro. Like this year I need to get myself a little actual high definition Sony handheld with focusable lens and somebody can set up on a tripod and 2 or 3 CCD chips in it or some shit. Okay. Haven't hit the 2-pill yet. Hello. Hello. Look at that. We're going to hit the 2-pill. We got the variable back down a little bit on this. Hello in the corner. Hello in the corner. We just laid it all the way past the stop. That's $2,000. We're gonna go down to 5x. So now we're gonna read this middle scale. The 10, add 2 zeros. The 20, add 2 zeros. The 3, add 2 zeros. The 4, add 2 zeros. The 5, add 2 zeros. Hello, audio. Now that's 2100, 2200 watts peak power. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. Now look at that average meter. Hello. Pitiful, right? That's all that radio. That's the reason it's not putting out great average power. So we'll change that. We're going to hit it with a 4400 now. Turn a little 2-pill off. And just hit it with a straight radio now. Back on 1x. Hello. Just turn the amp off. Hello. So we're hitting this with about 120 watts of peak power. Now look at our average meter. Hello. That's reading more realistically. Turning that back on. Back to 5x. 1,000 watt, 2,000 watt, 3,000 watt, 4,000 watt, 5,000 watt. Hello, audio. Now we're seeing 500 bird out of this on 14 volts. And we're seeing 2100, the same that we were getting from the striker, and this driving it. Hello. Real close, right? Now please keep in mind this mic cord loves to get RF in it. So we're going to hear this puppy squeal a little bit. But what you're going to listen, or what you're going to look at, is that average meter is going to come up around 800. And we're going to see 25 peak out of this box. Hello. We just did 900 bird and 2,500 watt peak. It's all from that radio on 14 volts. Hitting it with a 2-pill. So that radio driving this amp, it basically turns this into a 1x2. Hitting that into here, and you're getting 950 plus bird and 2500 watts peak. Hello. Isn't it amazing how the pitch of your voice just makes that much difference? Hello. It's getting right up there and doing its job. Tony, rags to riches, baby. Rags to riches. My name is BBI. Without a shadow of a doubt, I am the biggest mud duck in Idaho. Come check us out, www.bbiamps.com. Come find me on Pal Talk. The room's name is 27.025 The Bowl. You could watch me build this puppy live on camera. Find me on Facebook, Luke Miller BBI Amps. Man, or just pick up the phone, call this number, and you get me. I most likely won't answer right away, but I will call you back. I always do. Without all of you, I don't get to be here doing this crazy ass shit. And that's a fact. I appreciate your all support. And God knows I got enough of it over here. You wouldn't believe the pile of stuff that showed up here in this last week for me to look at. Anyhow, I see y'all. And as my buddy Tech9 says, okay, bye.